Hi there guys, my name is Peter, and so in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a calculator using Qt and C++. So yeah, brace yourself. So click on your Qt application, and once it opens, just click on this new project, and I'll go and select the applications, then Qt application, then choose, and I'd like to give my application a meaningful name, probably you have calculator view, calculator, and click next, go to next, and for the class name, make that to calculator. Probably give it a meaningful name like that, and just finish. And this is the basic structure of our Qt applications looks like. So here we have the headers file and the source file and the forms files. So I'm interested in the calculator UI for now. So here is where we go for push buttons, line edits, radio buttons, checkboxes, etc. So the first thing that I need for my calculator is a line edit here for displaying stuff. So just right click on your container, go to the right, then select the layout in a grid, then select the key line edit, and need to go to this size policy and select horizontal policy. I like that to be preferred, and the vertical policy I like it to be something like expanding, and that's that. So the other thing that we need is some push buttons for our calculator so that we can push them randomly as we want. So I'm just select them from here, and I will be back when I've finished dropping these push buttons, so don't go away. So this is the way my calculator looks like. It looks horrible, so let's try and fix this screen first. So I'm going to try and stretch it a little bit. And that's that. And the next thing that we need to give our buttons some meaningful text. For example, this button I'd like it to be a clear button, and this button I'd like it to be my delete, and this button probably power off button. So I'm going to give them some meaningful texts, and I'll come back, so don't go away. So now my calculator looks a little bit presentable, but there's something that we need to fix. So we need to give our button some meaningful object names. So for example, this one I might want to give it clear, and for the delete button I'll actually want to give it an object name of delete. Yeah, this will actually help us when we are coding. So yeah, so this button probably I want to give it the name power off, and I'll do for the rest of the buttons and then I'll come back. So yeah, just wait for me. So I have finished giving my buttons some meaningful object names. As you can see here, I have changed sound. I also have name add, name clear, name date, point, which stands for the decimal. So the other thing we need is to style our graphical user interface. Select the key line edit and go to style sheet somewhere down here, then click on this button and this window appears. So we need to say key line edit, then I want to give that display the screen of the calculator some background color, and to do that is actually quite easy. Just say background color, and I'll actually want to give it probably something grayish, so this will do. Say OK, just copy this and I want it, so just say OK. The other thing I need to do is go to text click on this text. I like to give it a default value of 0.0, and I like to align it probably align right, and I'll actually want to go to font and give it some boldness, so I'll click that. Go here. I also want to increase the size probably to 18, and that will be okay. The other thing that I need to do, I need to select these Q push buttons, so I'll select this, and that, and then I'll go to the style sheet, and I will give them a style, and since these are Q push buttons, I need to change this to push button, and then probably I can add that country name. I also need probably padding, which I'll set to 5px, that will do. And I also need a border for my button, so I'll just say border, I need it to be 1px, solid, get the color probably something grayish, and that's fine, and I'll say into the semicolon, and I'll copy all of that. So I need, when these buttons are pressed, I need them to change to a different color, so I will say pressed, and the color that I will actually want them to display when they are pressed is probably, I don't know, something like red. Then say OK, and I will copy all of this and say OK, and that's fine. So I need to select these 8 buttons on the right, give them a different style. So I'll go back to the style, and I probably want to give my button some reddish color, and here I'll just go ahead and remove this and add something like red and say OK, and when they are pressed, I'll let them to change to yellow. So the color will get just a random yellow, and that's fine, and I'll say OK. So I'll also go ahead and do the same for these 3 buttons. So I'll go and click this button on the style sheet, and I'll paste it there. So I like them to have an initial color of probably yellow, some interesting colors anyway. With that, I also want, when they are pressed, to change to a different color, probably I don't know, red would be more like it. Yeah, thanks for data. So I'll just say OK, and everything just fine. So we need to go to our just click this edit button, then let's go to our calculator.h. There are a couple of functions that we require, and these functions I'll just define them just somewhere here. So I'll just say private slots, and with a full column, and then we'll post in the functions that will let us to build our calculator. So we see that one will be coding these sub-functions now calculated in CPP. So the other thing that I need a couple of variables. The first variable will be take double, which I'll call calcValue, and the second one will be a take int, which I'll call probably math operator. And the third one will be a take double, and I will call it some in memory. I think you're finished with the calculator.h. So I need to jump into a calculator.cpp source file and I need to actually initialize some of the variables that will declare the calculator.h file, and I'll start with calcValue, which is a type double, so I'm going to initialize it to probably 0.0, and the next one is probably the first operator, which is of type int, and I initialize it to 0, and the other one is of type double, which is some in memory, so I'm going to initialize it at 0.0. So the first thing that we need is when we start our calculator, I'd like it to display 0.0 on the screen, and to do that is actually quite easy. So I'm going to say q line edit. Line edit is the object name I gave to my display screen, and I'll just say set text number, and then I'm going to pass in the calcValue, which will be initially at 0.0. So then the second thing that I need to do here at the constructor is, I like when a user pushes one buttons 1 to 9, I can give a specific button that has been pushed by the user, and to do that I'll just say q push button, and this will be a pointer. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give it just a name now, buttons, and a size of 10. After doing that, I'm just look through that and just say for I until I go to I, and the total will be 10. And I can actually get the specific button from 0 to 9 that the user has achieved to press. So I'm just saying 9 buttons, then I'll pass in I is equals calculator. So I'm getting the child, so find child, which will be the push button, and we'll just say, so here I'm just getting the text of the button, so I'll just say button, plus and then I'm passing I. The reason I'm doing this push button q plus q string number I is because when I go to the calculator.ui, you can see from that push button 1 through 9 I have push button 0, push button 1, push button 2. That's the reason. I hope you are getting the logic. So let's go back to the calculator.cpp. So you can see where it is push button 1, probably the button that the user has pushed, probably it could be push button 9, so something of the sort. Now the other thing that I need to fire up the function that will actually get the number that the user clicked and displayed on the screen, and to do that is actually quite simple. So I'll pass in the button, that is I, and I'll actually go ahead and say something like signal, and a signal when the button has been clicked and released, so I'll just get that. And I also just going to pass this, and I'm also going to pass in float, and the function that will be fired up will be the num test, and I need to end that with a semicolon. Save it. Now I need to implement this function, and to do that it's quite easy. So I'll just go down the constructor, and I'll say, since it's not returning anything, just say calculator colon num test And the first thing that I need to do is that I need to get a specific bottle that is sending the signal and from 0 to 9. So I'll just say push button, just do it at that name, is equals push button and then sender. Once I have that, I can go ahead and say something like I need to get the string of the text of the button, and to do that I just say toString and store it here in the button value is equals this should be a qstring is equals push button for the text. Okay, that's that. Once I have that, I can go ahead and get what is being displayed on the calculator screen and store it in this variable displayValue. And to get what's being displayed on the calculator screen score table, I just say line edit text and that with a semicolon. Now I'll actually want to check whether the display value is equals to 0 or 0.0, and to do that is actually quite easy. So I'm going to say display value to double just is equals to 0, or you just copy all of this and paste it here, say 0.0 there. Then display the button value that the user made up first. So UI line edit set text to button value, and that's that. Now let's go here. If it is not equal to 0 or 0.0, then we need to say something like qstring give it a variable name called new value will be, and then I'll just say display value plus button value and store it in that new value. And I can actually go ahead and convert that to a double, so I just say double, probably give it a name display new value will be equals, so convert it to a double is just quite easy, and just say new value dot to double, and that's that. Now I can go ahead and display what I have on the screen, calculator screen, that is UI line edit set text and then Q string number then we pass in the display new value, and I'll actually want to pass in G to avoid exponent numbers and probably precision of 16, and that will do. So once I have that, I think everything is fine. You can actually build it and see whether you can press a number and get it displayed on the calculator screen. So save that, go and build it. I hope it doesn't have any errors. So we have an error here saying displayed was out of scope. This one, then delete, and run it. Now you'll be able to actually press a number and it gets displayed on the screen. Now we want to actually implement the minus, multiply, and plus, and minus. So when a user clicks from, let's say, plus, this number gets cleared and we are able to insert another number. So let's see how we can do that logic. So I'll go and go to the calculator.h, then I'll uncomment this function, save that, and I'll go to the calculator.cpp and I'll go on top where the constructor is and grab this connect, and I'll go beneath the for loop inside the constructor, paste that in, and we need to say when the addition button is pressed, so I'll give the object name of the addition button. Yeah, go ahead and fire up this function that is the map operator pressed, and I'll need a couple of these functions. So just say you can just copy this, and I need a couple like 4 of them, so that is 2, 3, and 4. And the second one will be, as you guessed it right, is subtract, and the third one probably will be divide, and this one will be subtract, multiply, and the last one will be power off. And I think that's that. Now we need to implement that map operator first function down here. So I'm just saying, since it's not turning anything, there's a calculator. Map pressed, and inside there I can go ahead and say, so I need to grab whatever is on the screen, that number will, so that the number we inputted on the screen, and store it in this display value variable. And to grab it is quite easy, so I'm going to say UI line edit text, and let's store it in that display value. Once you have that, let's now get the calcValue defined in the calculator.h file, and let's store this display value inside there. So just say display value, and I'll change it to a double, and now we have it. We have the number. For example, we wanted to do 1 plus 1, so we get 1 and store it in calcValue. So once we have that, you can go ahead and now get the next button that will be pushed. So to do that, I'll just say push. Let me just give it a variable and then push button, and this one will be a pointer, and I'll say just say equals push button. Now we are trying to get the second button that will be got, and this will be probably plus negative types of divide. And after I've done that, I'll get just a Q string, get the button value of probing that the map operator buttons is equals push button that. Now we need to check whether it is let's say the user had pressed plus. We want to check whether that button is a plus. So to do that, I'll just say I need the matter of this else. I'll just say q string colon compare. I need to compare this button value and check whether it is divide that has been pressed, and say equals 0, and then I need to set the math operator for divide to 1, and I need to grab a couple of these since I'll be using them. And paste them here, and for this, let's say the user pressed a multiplication button, then I'll set 2 for multiplication. Let's say it was an addition button. I'll set that to 3. And here it needs to be else. And I'll go ahead and say else. Let's say it was this power of button that I pressed. I'll set that to 4. And the last one will be an else, which I'm set to probably I don't know, math operator, and set for the subtract. I'll set to 5. Now once I'm done with that, I'll actually want to clear the screen, and to do that I just say UI line edit, so that you can enter the next number, probably 1. I've gotten 1 plus, then I can enter the next number, probably that will be 1. So that's it. Set set text and set that to empty, and empty string. So let's go ahead and test that and see whether it is working. So I'm going to build it. And I'm going to run it. Now we can be able to do something like 1 plus 1. Now we need to implement for this button equal sign. So to do that is actually quite easy. So just go back to the calculator H5, and I'll comment that, and let's see how we can implement that in the calculator CPP. As usual, I'll go to the constructor and I'll grab one of these connects, and I'll copy that and paste it down here. And we are checking whether the equals button has been pressed, and I'll just say equals, that is the object name of the button, and here we need to fire up the equals pressed, and that's that. So we can actually go down and implement that function. So I'll just go ahead and say, since it's not returning anything, I'll say void calculator equals post. So the first thing that we need is we need to create a variable, let's say a double, which I call answer. So the answer will be stored here, but first of all I'll have to initialize it to 0.0. Once I have that, I can actually go ahead and get whatever is being displayed on the screen. That's the second number. So I say display, we just give it the name display value is equals to UI line edit, get the text. Once I've gotten the text, I need to change it to a double, since it will be actually a number. So double, and I'll call it probably double display value. Is equals display value dot to double, so let's go there. Let's go a little bit down. And once I have that, I can actually want to switch the math operator. And there I just pass in the math operator. And I need a couple of cases. For example, we saw that math operator 1 is for division. So I'll just go ahead and say answer is equals the calcValue, be the part number, probably 1, and then the second number will be, the second button that we press will be plus, and the other number, second number with the second that button that we press will be display, that double display value. So I hope you are getting the logic behind it. And I need a couple of these cases. So the second one was 2 was for multiplication, and 3 was for, I think, addition, and 4 was for the power of button. So I'll just say like that. And I need a function from the QMath header, so I just include it here. Say Q math header. Now I can actually use the Q power function. So I just say Q power, and the fifth button was supposed to be subtract, the math operator. And then let's say minus. So for the default, I just set the answer to 0.0, and now we need actually to display what we have. So we need to display the answer on the screen, and to do that is actually simple. So I just say UI line edit set text string number, and I'll pass it the answer, and like that. Now the other thing that we need to track is the answer, so I'll just get this sum in memory, which we'll be using in just a little bit, and I would like to store my answer in that sum in memory, and that's that. So I think everything is working fine. Let's go ahead and see whether it will do just a simple calculation. I just build it and I'll run it. Now if I do something like 1 plus 1, now it will be able to calculate it. Let me 2. Now I can go ahead and say times 7 is equals to 14. So I think everything is working fine. So let's go back ahead and implement the next function. So I'll go back to the calculator.h file, and now I need to implement for the number change sign. For the number change sign, the logic is I have this 14 and I need to change it to a negative value. So I can go ahead and append a negative sign in front of the 14 and do a calculation with that. And to do that is actually quite simple. So, because I'm feeling lazy, I'll just grab it from here and save some time. So let me just grab the whole function and I'll go back and the calculator.cpp and just down here about the destructor, can just paste that in. Then I'll go here on top. I actually need an include to the q regular expression .h. Since I'll be start matching the number and checking whether it is a positive number or not. And once I have that, I also need this one of these connect. And I'll be checking for the object name for that button is change sign, I think. And the function that will be fired up, we have seen that it is the change sign function. And that's that. Let's go now and see whether it is working properly. So you might want to look at this, what is really happening behind the scenes in this change number sign function. So yeah, just let's put that and let's build it again. Now it seems to be fine. Let me just run it, and I can actually want to say if the number is 27, I can actually append a negative sign in front of it and do something like this, and it works just fine. So yeah, I might want to look at that. So this is the change number sign function. So the other function that we need to implement is the clear screen. The clear screen is actually straightforward. I can actually do that when my eyes are closed. So I'll just go back to the calculator CPP. So the first thing that we need to get one of these connects, and I'll copy that, and I'll say yes, that is the object name of the button, and the function that will be called will be the clear burst or clear screen. And then I'll go down here and I will say something like it doesn't return anything, so clear screen. And this will be just a one-liner, so I'm just going to say UI like edit set text to just 0.0, and that will work just fine. So I'm going to build this and I'll run it. Now I can actually do something like that and I clear. So it's just straightforward. So let's go back and implement the next function. So I implement the point press. This is where we need a decimal point inserted in our numbers. So the second thing that we need to do is grab out one of these connects point, that's the object name of the button, and then point first. And because I am fully lazy, just grab it from here. So I just need this function down here, and I'll paste that here. So this is what I have for my point first. I might actually want to look around. Let me see here. It's supposed to be math error, and that's that. Let's delete and see whether it's working fine. Let's run it. Let's say we had something like 27.2, and if I insert another one, he's giving me a math error. So let's try and do something like, I don't know, that is a math error. If I decide to do something like 46.3, it works. 3.2 plus 3, it works fine. So we need also to do for the delete. I'll be back. So let's continue with the delete pressed function. So go to the calculator CPP, then just click copy one of these, and the object name for that button was delete, and the function that will be fired up will be delete pressed. And that's that. And let's implement that, and because I'm still feeling very lazy, I just grab it from here. So the delete post is here. It's actually just a simple piece of code, and yeah, paste it somewhere down here. And save that, and I think everything is just fine. So let's go ahead and build it and see whether it's working. And let's run it. So for example, I have 27, I don't know, 22. I can actually want to delete the 2, and probably that 2 I can actually want to say times 3, and it works fine. Now what is remaining is you need to implement this mem get, mem add, and mem clear. And to do that, I'll just go to the calculator.cpp, and I'll go on top, and I'll grab probably one of these, and I'll paste 1, 2, 3, since I have 3 functions to implement, and the first one will be get, and the second one will be add, and the third one, the object name for the third one will be clear. And here just need to say name get pressed, name add pressed, and probably name clear. and actually that is very a simple logic. So what we need to do, I'll actually go somewhere down here, and one of them, the main get is a double, so it is returning something. I was a calculator colon when get pressed, and what we need to do is return the sum in memory. The sum in memory is where we stored our answer. So there's a sum in memory is equals or just return sum in memory, and that's that. So once we have that, I can go ahead and say void calculator colon is it add. So here I just say I'll just declare a variable name of type sum and give it the name sum, and I'll just store the name get pressed in there. Once I have that, I can actually go ahead and say sum plus is equals, so I'm going to add it with whatever is on the screen, and it will do that recursively. So to get whatever is on the screen, and that's it, line edit text dot to double and convert it to a double. These two have problems, and then once I add that, I need to display what we have. So I'll just say line edit set text to and then I'll pass on some, and that's that. And the last thing we need is to clear the memory. So to clear the memory is quite simple. Just void calculator mem clear rest, and for that I'll just say sum in memory. I get some in memory caps initial caps of this, and just set it to 0, and that's that. And I think our calculator is finished. So just test it and see whether everything is fine, and I'll just build it or run it again. Now I can do something like 2 5 plus 2 is equals, and I can get the memory, and I can add that to that to that to that, and it works fine. I can clear the memory, and if I add it again, it's not working. So this is what I needed to teach you. So if you liked it, you can actually subscribe and like it, and the next tutorial will be showing how to connect Qt to MySQL. So hope you had fun in this boring tutorial, and a sleepy one for that case. So have a nice day, and bye.